evening, Aaron. Evening. Hi, Joe. It's been nice weather, so hopefully there's people around. You can watch it on your phone in the park. Very quiet, peaceful weekend days. Paul, evening, look, thank you very much for popping in. Yes. Glad the car's clean. Cool things we're going to be working on this evening. Oh yes. And you're listening to a track that I made some time ago. Yet again. I think this one's called Chilled Acid. We are here for the next 2 hours, so share, tell your friends, like the stream, hit the little bell and you get alerts. And come and start your weekend with a good old friend here, Sam Monie. Adorning the new Ginger Nuts Records hoodie. Yeah, nice haircut. Yeah, nice and short. As you all know, I've been dying for a haircut for some time now. And we have a haircut. I have to say we have a haircut. We have a haircut. So there you go. Opening track by my good self. Which is always good, I think. I think it's a good start to the day. So hopefully we will push on this evening and make some tunes. With a bit of luck anyway, that's the idea. So, I've got lots of things in the pipeline to be working on because we've got lots of Fridays in the year. Hey, Herb, my man. So what I did is I've been mucking around in my folders as usual, and came across bits and bobs. I've got lots of things I'm working on. I'm working on tracks. Track with Aaron, track with Kenny La, doing some stuff for Colette, doing stuff for Daniela, who have all fed through this lovely YouTube thing that we do on a Friday night. So I'm very grateful indeed. So there's a new angle tonight. I thought I'd change the angle a little bit. Maybe it's just so you can see my new haircut. Who knows? But I just trying to mix it up a bit. Right. And then I'm on. I've changed the screens over from working on the right hand side to working on the left because I'm more geared over to the left. So I don't know why I was working on the other side. So that's that screen there, as you can see. And there's all the folders. Bang. Right. Let's get started on some stuff here. So yeah, I found a bit of work. Let's see what I can do with it. This is all going to get scrapped because it doesn't sound that good. In fact, I'll play it just to confirm it's not good. Just to let anybody know, they will be vaping and the occasional slurping of beer. So this is what I found in the files, or the folder, or whatever you want to call it. Sounds a bit... Joe's back. I need to shimmy over this way a bit. I'm going to stop it there because it takes a weird turn I found out. So I'm not going to go any further. I'm just going to strip it back and find out what I can find out of this track and make a tune for it. Because obviously it's something that I've been mucking around with, and there's parts of it I think is good, and there's parts of it I think is pish. So let's strip it back. And I advise you to do this if you're making a song. So this is basically something I've done quite a while ago and got bored with it or wasn't making any sense, and then I found it in a folder as I do. And I thought, oh, I can hear there's things in it that sound quite good, so I'm going to go back to it now. It could have been made a year ago, 2 years ago, 6 months ago, a week ago, I can't remember, I don't know, I'd have to look at it. And there's lots of it that I think is not very good, but there is a couple of things that I hear that's good. So I never delete anything, which can be detrimental to your hard drives, but I've got plenty of them. So, yeah, because there's always something there somewhere. Or you wouldn't have carried on making something. So, in saying that, let's get rid of a lot of stuff, I think. But we'll see what the crack is. Let's start soloing stuff off and picking out what sounds good. Remember, the chat's here for a reason. Chat away if you like something, go, that sounds good, and then I know I'm keeping it. So, straight away, the kick and this bass wolf thing would have been what's tickled my pink. So that's what I'm going to start with, is these two top ones. Let's get rid of the arrangement because we don't want the arrangement. Get rid of that. And then what's this next one? So get rid of that. sound too bad. We'll keep that in as well as a percussion. We'll get rid of all the arrangement, because as I said, any arrangement that's been before we don't want, because we want to start this track from scratch, as in the sense of arrangement scratch. Now there seems to be another thing here. Right, that's got a bit of potential, so we'll keep that sound as well. As you can see, we're just working on a loop. Next sound. We'll keep that as well at the moment. Now, is it some wicky wacky claps? Let's get rid of all that because it's obviously just claps. I've probably done that the wrong way around there. Hold on. Let me just bunch that over there. That'll make a little bit more sense to the world. Especially if I get it right. And consolidate is just when you've got like that there and that there, and you want to put them together to make one big thing. You just got that. Highlight it, right click, and consolidate, and it turns it into one thing. Bang. So that's what I'm doing now. So that sounds like it's a clap. Do 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 do. Although I need to do a bit of work now. Do that. Consolidate that. Right. That sounds like it's conflicting with that, but we'll fix that hopefully. Let me have a wee look who's chatting. Oh yeah, it looks like Where Hoost is here. Have your tea, pal. Keep it tuned in. Thanks for the feedback on the haircut. My mum was like, "Oh, it's a fake cut." She wasn't too chuffed. It's so short. Anyway, saves me money getting another one. Right, this looks like it's been some sort of sample type thing. As I said, I've just found this, so we'll just tidy it all up and get it back to where. Yeah, that sounds all good. Get rid of all that crap. This looks like it's a shaker type thing. Right. There'll be things that'll get deleted on this because I don't know why they're there. But we'll keep them, we'll tidy it all up a bit. That just sounds like a sine wave. We don't want that. In fact, we'll just get rid of that whole track. Bosh. And then this looks like there's two different types of patterns. We'll have a look at that. What does that sound like? Straight away I don't like it, so I'll get rid of that. What's that one there? No, let's delete that. And then final one down at the bottom here. Need to delete the audio. And that's the thing that annoyed me. Right, so that's me get rid of all the stuff that was there before. I do hope when people watch this back, because I know a few folk do watch it back, there's quite a few views, they can see what starts and the raw materials and then where we go with it. So we've got this one. Let's just get rid of all that crap there. So basically got rid of all the stuff that I found and kept the bits that I think sounds good. And that's the plan. Now I need to knuckle down. Sam, can you turn you up? Can you turn me up? My iPad speaker is max. We still haven't had... Is it you finding it hard to hear me or the sound? Because it's not really me you should be listening to. So I'll play the kick and the subwoofy thing. And then hopefully you can hear that. Jojo, my favourite person in the world. I'll have a little slip of beer. Thanks. Like, yeah, so I found it. As seen at the start, there's all these tracks that I've got all over, the years that I've been making, and we'll listen to them, etc., etc. So basically, what I'm trying to say tonight is that I don't delete anything. I'll do something, and I might not necessarily go back to it, because for weeks and weeks and days and months and years, every time I switch my studio on, I've maybe something's happened. It's been a nice day, it's been a nice walk, I've had some nice food, I've had a disagreement, I've done something, but whatever it is, and I switch it on and I start afresh. I have like a little setup that goes, I switch it on and it's just a kick drum sits there, it's almost like a click track, and then I just start adding things, and then I could be at it for a whole day and night and come out with a track like what happened with haircut, or I could just be doing something for an hour or something, and then I've got to go and do something else. But I don't delete anything. I keep everything I do, and as I said, it can take a lot of space up, so I get externals and I have all these things sitting on external drives, and then I just go through them and say, oh, that looks like there's a name there. I'll turn my mic up because Jo was saying she couldn't hear it. Hopefully that's loud enough now. Bang, full pelt. And yeah, so this is what I've done. There's two things that I've found for us to muck about with tonight, you beautiful people. And this was one. Stripped it all back, got rid of all the things that I didn't like the sound of, but when I did hear it back, when I was looking for stuff to play around with on Friday night, as I would normally do, going back to what I've always said on the live streams, this is not a tutorial. Hopefully I'll talk about a few things, give a few tips for a bit of a laugh now and again, and you'll pick things up. The chat box is there for a reason. If you do use Ableton or you want to know something that I've done, you can say so, and I'll explain it. But I'll try and explain things sometimes a bit better, because a lot of people comment like, oh, you're super fast, you're super amazing, and that's good, and I do that particularly because I don't want people getting bored, because sometimes it's just a repetitive loop. So I try and speed up see how a track can get made quite quickly for people who are maybe looking at how to work Ableton, and maybe like most producers will say, don't get stuck in a loop. You want to keep the flow going and keep the whole of what you're doing out there, and just keep going and keep going and keep going. It's easy to delete things back, so that's exactly what I've done. I found this track. It was played it, and I could hear some nice things in there, but I knew there was a load of not very nice stuff. So get rid of it. You can rename this back, and you don't need to get rid of anything, but just start afresh kind of style. But you've got stuff to work from. It saves you starting from the beginning, if that makes sense, because I've got 400 or little tracks or songs or completed or half completed or loops, so it gives me something to go. It's like my own, as Joe pointed out earlier, it's like my own personal back catalogue. I can go back on things and tweak them and mess about. So without further ado, I'm actually just going to change my screens over here around a little bit so I can see the chat a bit better, because I've changed what screen's doing what. So I'll move that there so I can see the chat. And Joe saying she can hear me loud and clear. Somebody says it's distorting. Is that my vocals it's distorting? Because Joe wanted it really loud, so I'll turn it down a little bit. Right, and I'll play I'm going to play this in a loop, so let me know if it sounds okay. And I'll know if it sounds good, because that sub bass is as good as it's going to get, I think, and I'll have to tweak it a little bit. So I will shut up and start making some music, because that's what we're here to do. Watch me make music and you give input to it, and you can be part of the whole music making process. Right, so the mic was distorted. I'll stop chatting then, eh? Yes, definitely do hear things back differently, because at the end of the day, I must have thought that song sounded amazing when I made it, Joe. That dee, I must have thought, oh, that's really cool and it's really emotional. And then I've listened it back. It could, as I said, it could be 6 months, a year, it could be whenever I've mucked about with that track, and I'm like, that sounds terrible. But this rolling bass line is a start of a track for me because it sounds good. So, right, hopefully there's no distortion now, and you can just hear the beautiful sounds of us making tunes. But I'm going to turn the actual music up a bit now, so it'll be a bit louder. I'll set it about. Now here's a trick for those wanting a tip and trick. I'll stop that. I'll put the bass line on, so I'm going to switch across like this. So down here is our master out. So the master out should, let's just say, should be clipping with just the bass at minus 10 dB. So somebody told me. So you wouldn't want that. So I'm going to bring that right down. Usually that would sit at about minus 6. So that's sitting at minus 8. So that's too loud. Let me use my little controller here. Reset that. Right, and then when you put the kick on top over here, right, so that should not be going above this little thing. If you can see the arrow moving there, that should never go any higher than that, really. Maybe push it a bit higher, but that should be no any bigger than 6. And then if you send it to a mastering engineer, you'll have to drop that right down there, so he's got room to play with. So I'm going to set it there. As long as that sits at, yeah, happy days, right. Good, I'm happy the sub can sound good on whatever you're listening to it on. I'm using a lot of power here somehow, but hey ho. So I'm just taking the delay out of that kick drum because that sub is so rolly. So if I keep that delay way up there, just down here, if I keep that delay, yeah, you get that club sound to it, but that's going to distort when you put the sub on top. So I'm going to get that right down so it's a more thump, 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 and then stick the rolling bass line on top. Yep, you don't want it too loud, there's nowhere to go with it. So I'm going to actually bounce that pattern, so that I'll freeze that track. And bouncing it, obviously I'm taking it from a MIDI signal to a audio signal, and I'm going to flatten it. And with the power of Grayskull, that'll be the pattern. Now I've got a pretty cool plugin that brings that up really nicely, so I'm going to go and show you that tonight. So I'll go to my fancy plugin list, and it's called Apex Vintage Exciter. I might use the mono in it, stick that there, and there it is. Quite a cool bit of kit. And you'll see what that does to brighten all that up. Instead of me pushing the volume of it, I'll use this enhancer exciter thing to bring that out. Now I'm just going to go to load, and I'm going to go to a preset of it. So I'll just go to drums preset, and I'll just use, say, the shakers. Right, bang. Then I'll switch it off and off down here so we can hear the difference. Switch it off just now. That's it off, as you can see. And that's it on. Now to get that fancy noise on that, I've got a guitar rig plugged in there, so if I switch that off, that's what that loop sounds like. There you go. Switch this bit of kit on, which is guitar rig and Native Instruments. Now the problem with using all these plugins and all this kind of stuff is that what happens is your CPU will start kicking the crap out of you. So there's a way of getting around that. You should be able to freeze that track, and it should, with a bit of luck, have that plugin running in the background, and it'll save your CPU. Flatten that, let's see if it does it, if I'm talking rubbish or not. There we go. So I've got that effect on that now. Next. Sure about that song. I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to flatten that, and all these effects that I put onto that clap will then be Bosch sitting there. Saves me having so many plugins. Flatten it, and then there's the audio file. Hopefully this is making a little bit of sense. What drum, Jojo? That one there, it's annoying. same thing's going to apply to that. Pardon me, I'm going to freeze and flatten that track also. The beat drum. What's a beat drum? Flatten that as well. Same with that one, and then that should freeze up a little bit more room to play around with this tune. Well, what it does that is, if I don't do that, hold on, I'll just unflatten that, unfreeze it, sorry. So what happens is that track, for example, here, okay, so this track here, that sound is being made by a particular bit of kit. Bring that bit of kit up. Now that sound is getting made by this plugin, this VST run by Native Instruments. Now, one of the reasons not to flatten certain things, like you might want this particular sound to be automated, or you're just playing with this loop and you're adding things to it, and you're not quite sure where the cutoff should be, or the resonance should be, or the attack. You're not quite sure of the sound, so you don't flatten it yet. But if you've got a plugin like that uses a massive amount of CPU to process, the lovely graphics and all the sounds that come from it, it will eat up your CPU. My CPU's dropped right down since I've flattened these tracks because I had a lot of Native Instruments plugins. Not all plugins do that, but certain plugins are quite heavy on your CPU. So you've got to be careful, and at some points you just got to take the thing and say, right, I like the sound, do I need it in a MIDI with a plugin, or can I have it as like a sample, which is a WAV and an audio file? And that's what you got to sometimes get used to, that workflow and what works and what doesn't work, and what things use CPU and what things don't. I've got certain plugins that just one plugin and a kick drum and my CPU goes through the roof because it's so intensive. The studio will be updated at some point, and hopefully that might not be such a bad case. But anyway, there we go. Such is life. You've got to use the tools you got. So going back there. So you might want to automate that. But what you can do, so let me just move that over there like that, out of the way. So I can automate that and save that as an automation. So take that, automate in there, take it down there. Delete, delete, delete. I was doing this the other day to me. I don't know why. I can't remember what I'm doing wrong. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. So. I'll bounce that. It is kind of, it's a bit of a pest sometimes, but it doesn't really matter how powerful a bit of kit you've got. What will happen eventually is your CPU will start flagging and flagging, and you'll run out of processing because your computer's trying to process everything. And plus, remember, I'm processing OBS Studio and live stream on my computer, plus all the plugins from Native Instruments, and try to run this DAW, etc., etc. So it can be a bit labour intensive on your computer, basically. So I've halved my CPU almost. Something's obviously still causing me pain. And that can be even that little plug-in there could cause a lot of trouble. Let's bounce that as well. I think that bassline will sound better when it's an audio file. I might be wrong. Yeah, that's what you're doing, Kenny Lads. You're making your own audio samples, because what you do is you use all your MIDI bits and bobs, or your plugins you've got, etc., and then you create your own library. You can do that with kick drums, you can do it with bass lines, and then you can create a whole library if you're very well organised, label it, put it in there, and when you go over here in Ableton, you'll see you've got samples. I've got ones down here, which is samples there, and there's a bunch of files, and inside the files is all different folders with hits and stuff like that. So that's basically what you do, and it works very well. Right. I'm going to go to Polyplex. I'm going to go all banks. Bang. Now, this little plugin that I'm about to use, Polyplex, is a really nice bit of kit. I think you can get it as a single plugin in Native Instruments, and it will help you create and design a really cool drum thing, kit, if you want to call it that. So I want to put my own kind of drums in here in this loop there. I have to say, I do find it very difficult working on one little screen. And we're going to just make that go in the loop, switch that one off, put that one on there, and go up here and put that there. Perfectable. And you'll see what this does in a second. So that's very CPU intensive. And as you'll see why, because it's quite a substantial plugin. And then if you hit these little things here, it changes everything to a different kick. And there. And you'll hear that crackling away. So what my computer's telling me now is that because of everything I've got running, it will not allow me to play that plugin. It's just too labour intensive we're running a live stream and everything off the one computer. That's why other professional live streamers won't live stream off the computer that they're actually doing this stuff on, because that is not going to work. So what I've got to do is I've got to change the plugin, and that's by pressing that button, pressing that button, pressing that button, and maybe going back. I can use battery. Now I don't think batteries is labour intensive. It's a bit of a pest, but you know that wouldn't normally happen if I wasn't running a live stream. So it is what it is. Hi Ed, nice one, dude. So we'll see. See now that plugin, that drum plugin, which is just looks even more sophisticated than the Polyplex plugin, isn't running half as much CPU. So it really depends on what, you know, whatever it is that makes these things work. This one's not glitching, it's fine. As I said, the other one would be fine as well if I wasn't doing live streaming, so it is what it is. This one's got plenty to muck around with, so I'll pick a kit. Anyway, Disclosure use this one all the time. So it's good enough for Disclosure on their live streams, it's good enough for me. Part of Native Instruments Complete Ultimate. And you can see like this Chris Lineberg's kit there, so let's just see what he's got in this kit as a there we go, lots. Don't like his kit. And the beauty about this as well is I can actually take a sample that I've got down here, for example, open up one of these like that, hits and strings or whatever it is. If I move that along, say I go there and I go that one there, I'm trying to find a little, what I've got in all these hit slips, multi samples. No, hold on. So drum hits, so say a clap, I can take that clap and put it into this machine. There it is there as a file. Then I can create my own drum kit. Now it's a beautiful thing. Look, I'll just bring all these different claps in. And then I can tune it in from here, which I might just do. As a little bit of an example, find some hi-hats. So I'm making my own drum kit within this drum kit. Whether I keep it or not, I don't know. So let's play there. Bounce it over the other window so I can see what I'm doing. No. basic, but we'll keep that just now. And what we'll do with that is we'll just go into good old Ableton. We'll just stick a bit of reverb on it. Right, we'll mess about with the pattern later. So saying earlier, I'm trying not to get too hung up about making things super perfect right now. It stops you working. So what I'm doing now is just trying to find that I've got this going round and round. I'm just going to think about some sounds to go with this subby sound bass, nice sort of pattern we've got going. So it's stabby. What about that? Let's see what happens if we do that, do that, do that, do that. So is it not sounding right now? Move that out of the way, put that one in there. Can try a couple of variations on the theme here. Let's see. I reckon if we do a whole one there half the way and then double that, because what that's doing is it's cutting it out. So let's have it. Talk amongst yourselves. I will be back in a minute. In fact, let's have a little break. Let's have a little break, because quite an interesting one. We're starting from scratch, and I will put a tune on while I go to the little boys' room, and we'll come back to that. And I've got another one that I want you to have a little listen to. That I found. There's not much to it, but there's a little thing I'd like to show people who are doing a bit of Ableton work. Kenny La's one, I know he's doing some stuff, and I know Aaron's doing some stuff, and anybody else who's listening back to it, because people do. So this is another track called Silly Sundays by Sam Monie from the archives. Woo! Back in a minute, you beautiful, beautiful people. Yeah, go and hide. Woo! That'll be funny as anything. There's everybody gone! You can hide all you like. I've got tunes to make. Hide and seek.
Blues on a
Garlic bread. Thanks, lad. I've got hundreds of them. Vocals a bit dodgy, but never mind. That's a belter, look. That's a belter. Old one, but a belter. Yeah, thank you very much for the feedback on that. I think what I'll be doing with all these sort of tracks I've got, I'll be tweaking them a little bit, and I think our Chloe is I'm going to do like a DJ thing for the Waffle Hostage MixLR, and it's just going to be all songs that I've made. Check that out. Not about time too, I should do that. Anyway, where were we? Right, we'll spend a little bit more time on this because I think this is going to take a little bit of time. I might do some work on it in a week, and when you come back, you'll recognise it, I guess. So we're back to this little sound here. Let me just switch a few things off so we can hear it. Oh, there we go. We're happy with that. I need to tweak the sound a little bit. That's cutting the delay a bit. Right, bingo, we'll leave it. Job done with that. Can I get a bit more? Don't you be so fussy? Right, that's as much wobble as you're getting. Tune it in. Because I think that can move along. If I go like that, go like that, go like that, and bring that cut in, it might change it. We might be able to change it a little bit as we move along. Thanks, Ed. It is a rocking bass line. Hopefully I've got the speakers on. Yeah, there definitely is going to be more movement in that sound. But as I was explaining, you can get hung up on trying to make something too perfect. Let's find another sound that we can possibly, hopefully, fit in with this wobble and this sub. We'll go back to Contact. We'll go to Synths. We'll go to Miscellaneous again, where we found that last sound. Sometimes it's good to go back to where you were. Right. Turn it down. Yeah, I think that's just another layer to it, isn't it? I think. If you've watched my YouTubey things, you'll know I like to go boom, 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 and get going, and then go back and do something with it all. So yeah, that's not sound too bad. Sub bass is immense. It's like an old Detroit Chicago sort of thing. Right, a little trick coming up. Let's try this little trick for those, especially like the Kenila and the Aarons. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to silence all this stuff just now, just have a little muck around. I'm going to put that in there like that. Insert a track. Find that note. I'm going to keep that note all the way along as I've been doing before. So that's what you'll get. Now, because it's MIDI, we're going to go to Ableton's Midi Fx, and up the top there is Arpeggiator, and we'll see if we can't do something with the arpeggiator. There's a couple of little tricks you can use in Ableton actually to get something different going on. So we'll try an arpeggiator in it, never know what might happen. Right, and then that's going to drop in there. Yep, I'm keeping that. Now, it's at this point you don't get too carried away by constantly adding things to it. I have a bad habit of doing that, but you just got to. So yeah, let's just do a quick bit of arrangement and get a feel for it, and then we'll push on. Because we should then get a feel for the tune. Take it from the top. Yeah, you got to stop it because if you listen back to a lot of tracks that we kind of like, it's the small elements of the tracks that we're super happy about, and it keeps us going. But it can get a bit muddy and clouded, and I'm the world's worst for going. Oh, and it needs to be something else. But maybe not. Let's have a listen to this. Taking that sound out of there. It's too early for that, I think. Yeah, it can be quite simple to get it sounding quite good, I think. It's a good start. Right, have a look, listen to it again. Just by chopping a couple of bits out, can just get the track rolling a little bit, and then try and keep it fairly simple. And just change what we cut out and what we don't cut out, as you'll see what I'm doing. So I'm just changing which things get cut out and which things don't, and then that That can be all you need to do with a track like this, with a couple of bit more percussion. Let's have a little listen. Oh, it's so much fun. Hopefully people pick up stuff on this, and if not, just have fun watching it. Simple but good. Doing her eyelashes. That's where Chloe will be. There we go, that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. It's amazing what you can come up with when you get rid of all the crap that you had before, I guess. See if we can break it down a little bit and then build it back up again just with these few tracks. David, I'm slightly, that's when the university goes back, so September is always out for me. And if you think I can go down to London and party during the day and come back up and go to work on a Monday, that's a no. I need at least 3 years off. I will have a look at it though. Well done you for getting a ticket. About time we go out and have a bit of fun. Yeah, I know it's a pain in the backside. I work 40 weeks of the year and I get 12 weeks off, and I can't really take time off because it's called perm time. I work when the university's on and I'm off when it's off, which has got its benefits. Well then, David Law. I can hear myself DJing this out actually. sound of the vape went well. Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I like where that's happened tonight, and that's the beauty of it, because it's just quite simple and quite surprising where it's ended up being. Let's have a wee listen back, and then I'm going to play another one of my little songs, I think, and then I'll go as something else I found. So that we've got so many things to work on. Never enough hours. Thanks, Luke. Get it rebooted. Oh, if it's not me, it's crashed it. Maybe it's that sub bass. Oh, Joe, you'll be sadly missed, darling. Sadly missed. Go Mac and never look back. Probably needs a wee swoosh there, probably, to break out of that little breakdown. Don't worry. Happy days. Right, let's leave this track there. That was enjoyable. I like. Now, I will go up and I will save it. And that gets rid of all the crap that was there before. Now, what should I do? I've got this thing I found I quite liked. Or should we have a list? Should we have a look at Kenny La's one that we did? What do you think, Kenny La? Have a listen back at your one. Let the fans hear, Kenny La. Let the fans hear. Here it is there, Kenny La. Let's have a listen to it and have a look at all the work that's been done, Kenny La. Lots to get done to it. Got some great feedback from Dan the Man. Basically, he said, yeah, start again. He didn't. He's like, the start doesn't fit in with the rest of it, and etc. etc. So there's lots of work to be done to this, because as you know, Dan the man is the guy who I send stuff to, and he usually goes, this is disjointed, that isn't right, that shouldn't be there, and I get really good feedback from him. So he did say that he's thought the start was a bit disjointed from the rest of it, which is fair enough, but we'll have a listen to it because it's Friday night and we can do what we like. So here is Kenny Lars' track. There was quite a few bits done to it last Saturday, or during the week, or whenever it was. During the week, I think it was. I was having a late one, and I was messing around with it and adding to it. Probably too much to it, I guess. So we'll have a listen back. And those who tune in, now here's what I was thinking. Lots of people listen back, and lots of people are slowly but surely getting involved in this little hangout. I don't know if I want 12,000 people watching us. Then the chat room will get a bit too much. Right, let's have a listen to this instead of me chatting a load of nonsense. You'll remember it. I think it is number 16 you didn't want in, Kenny, so I'm going to take it out. There's a lot going on. A lot going on. 21 tracks, a lot. Kenny, you thought that vocal was a bit loud, so tone it down a little bit. Drum up. The other bit of advice was it needs to be cut shorter. It's a bit long. Sorry, got carried away. Yeah, thanks for taking that, Kenny. It was you. Yeah, we'll cut it short, but it is a bit of a journey. I don't know about you, but I'd be dancing away at this for 9 minutes. I love that echoey acid line, don't know how I've done that. Yeah, probably should have finished around there, I think. Yeah, the first part needs basically sorting out, changing, deleting something, and then it should sort of finish. Should have finished by now, I guess. So we'll just... But it's very good, it's very good. I think all the elements are there for an absolute banging tune. I just have to work hard at it. And what I'm going to do, Kenny La, is all the bits I've added to it, I will bounce them properly to you, and then you can do your own thing with all the little sounds I've created. Yeah, strip it all down, and that's what I'll do, is I'll strip it all down, I'll take all the parts, because I think if I just switch over from arrangement to clip view, what I'll do is I'll put all them in the clips, and then I'll bounce all them down as small wave parts, not the big wave parts that you sent, Kenny, and then you can do a remix of it, and that would be great. It'll be all the elements over there for you to do something with. Happy days. Right, I'm going to just go over here because I found this thing here called FNWTF. I'll just save it because I did make a couple of changes on the fly. Now, I found this, and as usual, feedback is essential. I've got lots of stuff to do. I've got work to do on Aaron's stuff. This is pretty much there. and then I'll do the same thing. I'll bounce all the parts across to Aaron so he can do his own thing with all the bits. He's been very good at promoting what we're doing, so very happy with that. Thank you very much, Aaron. Happy days. And I've got lots of stuff to do. Now, I found this thing here. Hopefully that sample comes online. Yeah, there it is. Now, I don't know what you're going to make of this, but I was kind of blown away by it, I think, if I'm not right in saying so. Yeah, here we go. Let me see. Tell me what you think of this. Need some volume, Sam. Simple kick drum, I hear you say. Now, as you'll see, what I was saying at the beginning of this Friday stream is, this is all I've done. It's all I've done, and then I've obviously gone away and done something else in my day. And but I was just looking through and I thought, what is FNWTF? And I brought it up, and this is what I came across. Just a couple of things. And I was bushed about what happened. So let's see if it still does what I think it's going to do. Holy smoke. Sounds nuts. I'm just going to freeze that complete track because it's using up a lot of my CPU. So no, don't do anything bad. Right, cool. Let me flatten that. Whether it stays later on. Yeah, but hold on, it gets a bit better, I think. Now, in my studio, my big KRKs and my big 10S sub down there, this sounds absolutely bonkers. I'm not even going to lie to you. Now, down here's a little thing on Ableton that you've got. It's called Beat Repeat. And if I hit that button, it does something completely crazy, I think. Hold on. Watch this space. Oh shit. So that was me hitting that button on, which is Beat Repeat within Ableton. And I'll switch it on. It does the whole repeat beat thing. Right, Kenny's asking where Beat Repeat is. Right, Kenny, up here into I believe it's going to be an audio effects because that's an audio track. So go to audio effects and down here somewhere we'll have a look. There it is there, Beat Repeat, that gadget there. So that does is it does. I've just discovered this bit of nonsense in amongst all the stuff I've got as I keep repeating myself, and I think there's various things there that are presets, and obviously you can change around with them. But what it's doing to that waveform, that bass thing, woo-wee, stop the train. So I'll go back to that track, I'll take it off and put it back on again. So as Ed was saying, it's a really cool waveform, it's a really cool as I stick that beat repeat on, I think it needs a bit of tweaking in that, but I think you can change the variations and stuff. There we go. Change the gate a bit. And you can change the 100% chance. Excuse me, that is absolute filth, isn't it? And as soon as I go up here, and as soon as I put percussion behind that, I think it's just going to go absolutely crazy. Not that sound, but holy crap. Holy crap! Congo drum. I know it needs something. That needs loads of stuff. How nuts does that sound? That's just nuts. Oh, so much to do with this. And that's that beat repeat there, look. Stop the boat. Right, that is going to be an absolute hoot of a banger, man. I've got to work on that. Oh. And I bet you if I add like a filter. I knew it. I could just play I could just play with that all night long. All night long, just do that. Put some more drums to it. Happy days. Right, we will say that's it for this evening, because obviously 9 o'clock is when I like to finish. Thank you for coming and joining in. We've got the tune we started off tonight with. We can work on that, and then obviously I found this one as well, which is going to be an absolute banger. I'll work on Kenny Lars stuff, I'll work on Aaron's stuff, etc, etc. And we've got lots of things to do. I'll finish off with another track of mine, I think, to see us out for the night. Love yous guys. You are amazing. Totally amazing. Thanks. Tell your friends. Don't tell too many friends. Let's spread the word. And it's good fun. It's a bit of crack. Sets us up for the weekend, I think. And thank you very much for popping in. Share the whole YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. Hit the little bell so you get alerts when it goes live. And then the world will be a beautiful place. And as I said, I'll leave you with another track from Sam's archives. And I'll kick back out of here. You take care too. Thanks Herb, thanks Aaron, thanks La, thanks Joe, thanks Ed, thanks everybody, Luke, the whole lot of yous for constantly coming in week in and week out to hang out and make some tunes. Yous have an input in it and that's what counts. All these songs will be heading your way as requested, and if you like them you can play them. Thanks Ed, please join us every Friday. You never know, you might hear some songs you like, and your input's always welcome. Yeah Joe, I get that, and I usually would sit here and do it right to the early hours.